Today's hearing also revealed efforts to knowingly create and send fake election certificates. The committee said groups of fake electors met in several battleground states in December of 2020, right after the election, all at the request of the Trump campaign.
The electors from these battleground states signed documents falsely asserting that they were the, quote, duly elected electors from their state, and submitted them to the National Archives and to Vice President Pence in his capacity as President of the Senate. Here is what some of the fake elector certificates look like as compared to the real ones.
The committee also showed text messages between an aide to the Republican Senator Ron Johnson and an aide to former Vice President Pence. According to the text on January the 6th, the aide suggested that Senator Johnson would hand deliver some of these fake documents to the vice president. And Pence's aide immediately said, "Don't do that." Senator Johnson's office responded today, denying that he was aware or involved in any way. Donald Ayer is here, Deputy Attorney General in the first Bush administration. Donald, these fake elector certificates that were created and then sent, did that break any law? And could that be an area of interest for the Justice Department?
Oh, I think it could. I think it's going to be seen as part of a much larger series of events. And I think that, there's a lot to look at there in terms of the specifics. But the bigger picture, which I think is overwhelming, and again today, I think the committee has really hit a home run. The ability to put forward detailed accounts of facts, which you very nicely summarized in the opening of your show, that really nail down and focus something that a lot of people suspected, but nobody was quite certain of. And that is the degree of culpability of Donald Trump, the degree to which he is the central actor. He is the one driving all this. He is the one who acts over the objections of his own supporters. He is the one who shows just extraordinary disregard for the consequences of his actions, even for his own supporters. So I think really we're just seeing in installments here, the case building day by day of culpability of Donald Trump as the central actor, something we might have suspected strongly, but now we're coming to know it by seeing these facts.
You said last week that you thought the Justice Department had a substantial case. Does today's hearing strengthen that?
Oh, I think it certainly does. I think when you look at all of these specifics and you look at all of the ways that Trump himself not only was involved, but drove the process. The 67-minute phone call with Raffensperger, where he continues to beat on him and his colleague Gabriel Sterling to get them to do what he wants, but so many other things that were talked about today. And I think we're just building an overwhelming amount of information that puts Donald Trump at the center and has him really overriding and disregarding his own people.
Donald Ayer, thank you so much. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.